Have you ever stopped to think about why so many people feel emotionally and financially exhausted right after the holidays? It seems contradictory, doesn't it? A time that should be filled with joy, gratitude, and connection ends up turning into a whirlwind of excess. Overindulgence in food, rampant consumerism, insane schedules, and that nagging feeling that something is always missing. But does it have to be this way? Have we been conditioned to believe that the more we do, have, or eat, the happier we will be? What if I told you that the secret to enjoying the holidays fully and in balance doesn't lie in doing more, but in doing better? Excess isn't a sign of celebration, it's a sign of imbalance, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Because while everyone is rushing to buy the most expensive gift or set the most extravagant table, there's a wiser, more intentional, and dare I say, much more rewarding path to follow. On this journey, you'll discover how small changes can transform the holiday season into something truly special. It's not about cutting out pleasures or renouncing traditions, but about experiencing each moment with moderation, purpose, and meaning. It sounds simple, but believe me, this approach could be the key to a lighter, more grateful, and clearer end to your year. So, if you're tired of finishing the holidays feeling like something is wrong, or if you simply want to learn how to live this time of year more consciously, you're in the right place. Get ready, because what you're going to learn here has the potential to change not only how you experience the holidays, but also how you approach life. Are you ready to discover how Stoicism can transform your holidays and perhaps your entire next year? Let's get started. When we think about holidays, it's almost impossible not to picture tables overflowing with dishes that call to us with their aromas and evoke fond memories. But if we reflect a little, do we really need to surrender to excess to enjoy the moment? Moderation, one of the pillars of a balanced life, can completely change how we relate to food during these occasions. Imagine arriving at a party already satisfied from a light meal, rich in fruits, vegetables, and nourishing foods. It's not about deprivation, but about allowing yourself to consciously choose what truly deserves to be savored. This small gesture can be the beginning of a healthier and more meaningful relationship with food. Now picture this scenario. A table full of dishes you love, but instead of rushing to try everything at once, you adopt a Stoic mindset and decide to savor each portion slowly. This not only elevates the experience, but also helps you avoid that heavy feeling in your stomach that often dampens the fun. When you appreciate the texture, flavor, and even the story behind each dish, like the cake your grandmother always made or the special seasoning from a friend, the moment becomes memorable. Mindful eating transforms the celebration into something more than just a consumption event. Speaking of mindfulness, have you noticed how planning can make a difference? If you know there will be many dishes at the event, why not decide in advance what you most want to try? Perhaps a traditional dish or that dessert that only appears once a year. By prioritizing what holds special meaning for you, you automatically reduce the temptation to sample everything at once. Plus, you honor the traditions and moments that these foods represent. It's a way to eat less but feel more. Another powerful strategy is to adopt the habit of balancing your plate. When we talk about balance, it's not about filling half of it with leafy greens, unless you really enjoy that. It's about combining what you desire with options that help you feel good afterward, like fresh vegetables or light proteins. Imagine starting your meal with a well-made salad before diving into the main course. This simple practice helps moderate your appetite while allowing you to enjoy food consciously and satisfactorily. And what if, instead of focusing on quantity, you challenged yourself to create a special culinary memory? Choose one dish and ask yourself, why is this dish important to me today? Often, we are so used to consuming without thinking that we forget to connect with the meaning behind what we eat. Food can be a symbol of gratitude, whether for the person who prepared it or the moment it represents. This simple reflection can change your perspective and bring a greater purpose to each meal. But make no mistake, this isn't about rigid rules. It's about developing a new way to approach the holidays where pleasure and meaning intersect. And if you think this is complicated, know that you're not alone on this journey. There's a philosophy that helps us create this balance and find purpose even in the simplest moments, like the act of eating. Want to know how? Well, we can delve deeper into this idea. After all, when we talk about holidays, it's not just food that's at play. The holidays and the clinking glasses in the air, toasting to moments of joy and celebration. It's nearly impossible to dissociate these occasions from a good wine, a bubbly, sparkling drink, or that perfectly crafted cocktail. But behind every toast lies a choice: savoring in moderation or losing control. Imagine, for example, setting a clear limit before you start drinking. Doesn't that sound like self-control, but also like freedom? Yes, because it's you who decides when and how to stop, without letting the drink decide for you. This doesn't mean depriving yourself, but rather enjoying without losing yourself. You might be thinking, but drinking is part of the fun, isn't it? Absolutely. But who said that fun has to go hand in hand with excess? Alternating between alcoholic beverages and water is a simple yet effective tip that many overlook. Not only does it keep your body hydrated, but it also slows your pace and prolongs the pleasure. Imagine starting with a glass of wine, then toasting with sparkling water and a squeeze of lemon. It's elegant, keeps the festive spirit alive, and protects you from waking up with that heavy feeling in your head the next day. And if we look deeper, Stoicism teaches us to reflect on our motivations. Why are we drinking? To truly celebrate or to fit in with the social circle? Think of that friend who holds a full cup for hours just to seem part of the group. Is it really necessary? True social connection comes from presence and conversation, not from what's in your glass. The next time you attend an event, why not try going without alcohol and observe the impact? You might be surprised by how much deeper the conversations become. The issue of moderation goes beyond the physical. It's a practice of mindfulness. Choosing to drink just enough to toast and enjoy the moment with clarity is a sign of sobriety that transcends alcohol. A practical example: if you love cocktails, why not opt for non-alcoholic versions like fruit mojitos or citrus spritzes? They are sophisticated and delicious options that keep you in the party spirit without compromising your lucidity. This also allows you to enjoy the entire evening without worries. For some, responsibility regarding alcohol begins long before the party. Planning how to get home safely is an example of conscious management. Agree with friends on a designated driver or use alternative transportation services. This kind of behavior not only preserves your safety, but also reinforces your commitment to values like responsibility and respect for others. In the end, that's what leaves the true sweet taste in your mouth, knowing you celebrated without negative consequences. Now imagine turning each toast into a moment of reflection and purpose. It's not about the drink, but what it symbolizes: celebration, unity, gratitude. Each glass can be an invitation to cherish the present moment without excess. And if you think this type of control is difficult, know that it's simpler than it seems when applied to daily life. Speaking of which, what else at parties deserves a more balanced and conscious perspective? The windows shine, advertisements pop up everywhere, and that urge to shop takes over. It's a holiday ritual, isn't it? But if we stop to think, what exactly are we seeking when we fill our shopping carts? Often the desire for gifts and decorations comes with a race against time and, sometimes, against the budget. Here enters the power of planning. Setting a budget before heading out shopping acts like a guide. It's not to limit, but to provide clarity. This way, instead of succumbing to impulses, you focus on items that truly matter to you and to the intended recipients. Now consider the difference between buying a gift just because it's on sale and choosing something with emotional value. It could be a personalized photo album or even a plant symbolizing growth. The impact is entirely different. A meaningful gift strengthens bonds, while a random item bought in haste often turns into just another forgotten thing in a drawer. And the best part, these conscious choices don't weigh on your wallet or your heart. And what about the irresistible appeal of decorations? Of course, everyone wants a beautiful home to welcome guests. But who says it all has to be new? Have you tried repurposing items from previous years and adding a creative touch? An old wreath can come to life with a bit of gold spray paint or recycled ornaments. These practices are not only economical, but they also showcase a care for the environment, a value that never goes out of style. By doing this, you also teach others that beauty and purpose can go hand in hand. When we talk about conscious consumption, it's also worth considering the impact on the planet. A Stoic might ask, is this necessary? Will it bring lasting happiness? Sustainable products like handmade gifts or items from local small producers hold value that goes beyond the material. For example, instead of a generic toy, why not give a gardening kit for kids to plant their own flowers? It's a gift that teaches, entertains, and stays in memory. The bigger problem might be the habit of impulse buying. Who hasn't been caught by a flash sale and, in the heat of the moment, purchase something entirely unnecessary? Here comes the importance of a reflective pause. Before buying, Ask yourself, do I need this or am I just trying to fill a momentary void? This small mental exercise can save both your budget and your peace of mind. In the end, it leaves more room to invest in experiences that truly matter. But don't think moderation means giving up the magic of the holidays. On the contrary, when you trade quantity for quality, moments shine brighter. And it's not just in shopping that this logic applies. After all, what truly brings happiness goes beyond the store windows. If there's anything that requires a balanced and reflective approach, it's time, a resource that, once spent, never returns. Have you ever felt like the holiday month passes in the blink of an eye? Amid the commitments, preparations, and gatherings, time seems to evaporate. But are we really enjoying each moment, or just rushing from one event to another? Time, as we know, is the only resource we can't recover, and using it with moderation and purpose may be the key to enjoying the holidays more fully. How about starting by analyzing your schedule? Ask yourself, do these commitments reflect what I truly value? Imagine prioritizing gatherings that hold significance for you. It's not about attending every party, but about being present at those that matter. Sometimes, an intimate dinner with family or a coffee with a dear friend is worth much more than a large celebration full of familiar faces, yet distant connections. By choosing quality over quantity, you not only save energy but also allow yourself to create genuinely special memories. And of course, this also means reserving moments for yourself. Speaking of moments alone, have you tried simply stopping and reflecting? It sounds simple, but amid the festive chaos, it can be revolutionary. Take a few minutes for a mindfulness practice like meditation or journaling. Writing down your thoughts, your wishes for the new year, or even listing reasons for gratitude can transform how you perceive time. It's not about filling every second, but about giving purpose to them. Planning is also a powerful tool. Have you thought about using a planner or an app to organize your parties and tasks? This helps avoid overload and allows you to commit only to what truly matters. A practical example: set aside specific days for shopping and preparations, leaving others for rest or leisure. This way, you maintain balance between obligations and pleasures without sacrificing control. But we must not forget the importance of being present. How many times have you been at an event, yet your mind was elsewhere, perhaps thinking about the next commitment? Stoicism teaches us to value the present moment, to truly be where we are. This means turning off your phone, listening attentively to those speaking, and savoring the simplicity of now. After all, the time spent in mindfulness is what truly leaves lasting marks. Understanding the value of time is also an invitation for deeper reflection. How can we use this precious resource to reinforce our values and create meaningful experiences? Holidays are a perfect opportunity to practice this. Speaking of values, there's something profoundly powerful about the act of giving gifts. Giving gifts is undoubtedly one of the most anticipated traditions during the holidays. But have you ever stopped to think about what we are really offering? Often, the focus on the price or size of a gift overshadows the true intention behind this gesture. Stoicism teaches us that value lies in intention and meaning, not in cost. Imagine replacing an expensive gift with something that demonstrates care, like a handwritten letter or a handcrafted item. These options not only avoid rampant consumerism, but also create deeper connections with the recipient. And who said gifts have to be material things? Have you ever considered offering time, a special outing, a lesson you can teach, or even an entire afternoon dedicated to someone can have a much greater impact than any object? For instance, imagine preparing a homemade dinner for a friend instead of buying something generic. This type of gift shows a level of attention and affection that is unlikely to be forgotten. If the goal is to give gifts mindfully, it's worth considering useful items or those that encourage a more balanced lifestyle. A practical example: instead of giving a decorative item, how about something that inspires self-care, like a book on mindfulness or a gardening kit? These gifts serve a purpose and help promote values like balance and reflection. They are choices that resonate with the idea of living with intention. On the other hand, for those who struggle with gift selection, experiences can be the answer. A ticket to a concert, a restaurant voucher, or even a streaming service subscription are gifts that provide moments, not just objects. These options eliminate the risk of giving something that will be forgotten on a shelf. Most importantly, they invite the recipient to experience something special. For the more creative among us, personalization is a surefire path. Imagine creating a photo album of shared memories, or even compiling a playlist of songs that marked your history together. These gestures don't cost much but carry immense emotional value. Additionally, personalizing shows that you truly thought about the person, rather than simply following a shopping list. Gift giving with purpose is a practice that requires reflection and mindfulness, but it also rewards us with more authentic and lasting relationships. By giving with intention, you inspire others to do the same, creating a virtuous cycle of shared meanings and values. If we stop to think, the holidays are more about the bonds we build than the objects we exchange. But what would those bonds be without a moment of pause and gratitude? Holidays are a time for celebration, but also for introspection. Have you ever considered what the past year really meant to you? Reflecting on achievements, challenges, and lessons learned is a powerful act that transforms the holidays into something much bigger than gatherings and gift exchanges. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of looking inward and finding gratitude in everything, even in difficulties. Why not take a moment to list the things you are grateful for this year? A simple list can change your perspective. For example, you might create a personal or family ritual of gratitude. It could be something simple, like sharing during dinner what each person values most about the past year. Besides strengthening bonds, this practice helps us realize that often, what we have is already enough. After all, it's easy to get lost in the quest for more. More gifts, more parties, more achievements. But true wealth lies in recognizing what we have already attained. Reflection is also a powerful tool for planning the future. What lessons from the past year can you carry into the next? Perhaps you learned the importance of self-control in the face of difficulties, or realized that prioritizing what truly matters brings more satisfaction. To make this exercise practical, try writing your goals for the coming year in terms of values rather than material things. For example, instead of saying, "I want to buy a new car," think, "I want to practice more financial responsibility." Gratitude, in turn, is something that multiplies when shared. An unexpected message to someone who made a difference in your year can be more meaningful than any gift. Have you ever tried thanking a friend, colleague, or family member for something specific they did? This small gesture has the power to transform someone's day and strengthen the bond between you. Gratitude is one of the few things that, the more we give, the more we receive. But don't think that reflection and gratitude need to be solitary or formal practices. They can reside in small moments: a genuine smile when meeting a neighbor, a warm hug for a relative you haven't seen in a while, or even that pause to admire the city lights and contemplate the beauty of being here. Now, it is these small actions that connect us to the true meaning of the holidays. When we use celebration time to reflect and practice gratitude, we create a mindset that lingers even after the holidays are over. This is the kind of energy that strengthens us to face the challenges of the new year with more serenity and purpose. And if you think this is a hard habit to start, remember, like everything in life, it's a matter of taking the first step. In fact, why not transform this change into something bigger that guides every aspect of your life? Now that you've learned how moderation can transform the holidays into more meaningful moments, it's time to take action. Think for a moment. What do you truly value during this time? Is it the number of gifts, the abundance of the table, or the endless commitments? Or is it the bonds we strengthen, the moments we share, and the gratitude we cultivate? Allow yourself to question the patterns that surround you. What would happen if you applied the balance we discussed to all areas of your life, not just during the holidays? What would it be like to live with more sobriety, purpose, and mindfulness? These choices are within your reach, but it's up to you to decide what to do with the knowledge you've gained here. And speaking of choices, consider how small changes can lead to significant impacts. How about starting now? Plan your next meal with moderation, choose a meaningful gift, or take some time to reflect on the past year. Every conscious act brings you closer to a life aligned with your values, and that's a gift no one can take away from you. If you feel that these ideas resonate with what you want for the future, allow yourself to go further. In my ebook, Stoic Mindset, you'll find practical strategies to apply Stoicism, not just during the holidays, but in every moment of your life. It's a guide for those who want to transform challenges into growth and live with more clarity and balance. Are you ready to start this change? If this content made sense to you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you can continue learning and bringing more harmony into your routine. And remember, Every small action starting now is a step toward a more meaningful life. Let's go for it.